Hey guys, we are back. It's the long drive home, and I've got some special guests with us today. But first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting, and we've reached over 1,000 followers now, so thank you to you guys, and keep on supporting. Guys, got some special guests, so would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi guys, I'm Chantelia, known as SS Fitness.
I'm Leon, known as Sweets Lewis. Yeah.
Socials.
I was gonna save that for later.
Okay.
Oh, we're going back to the front now. Back to the front.
Hi guys, I'm Chantelia, known as SS Fitness.
What's the Instagram? You haven't said
It's SS Fitness.
Right, sorry, apologies.
Don't you follow her?
So Leon, I'm gonna follow now. I didn't know it. Leon, my Instagram's Sweets Lewis. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Jada, and my Instagram's preciousvegan_.
Cool, and it's your boy Joey Cool, Insta Joey Cool 1, and today's topic we are talking mental health, which is a subject which is kind of overlooked at times. So we thought, why not discuss it today? So guys, talk to me about mental health. Has anyone got any experiences on what they believe mental health is?
I think mental health is kind of, it's a bit of it's a stigma. A lot of people go through it in different ways, and a lot of people are scared to talk about it.
Yeah, I've been affected. Lewis is my name today.
You set the tone.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's not something I've really spoken about, but my dad suffered from mental health, and like the breakdown in my family was due to mental health, and a lot of people aren't really aware about it. And it's not that, I guess when I was a child I didn't really speak about it because there was no sort of highlight around the subject, or I just felt as though it was me that was the only person that was going through it. But I've been in the extreme of that. Like, I know people go through depression and hard times and whatever, but my dad was actually in an institution basically. So he's been in Malta, he's been in numerous places throughout my like childhood and my teenagers really. Like, he passed away last year. And I've kind of dealt with just the issues with medication and it changing, and yeah, it's been a big thing for me. And I think like even I'll probably say like the last year and a half I've been in a low patch in my life, and I can't say it's necessarily been due to anything, whether like I don't know, work, relationships, whatever, but I've just felt low. Like I've just felt low, and it's a bit crazy. And I think like things like this and having a conversation about it, because I think that's another thing about mental health is like a lot of times us as human beings, a lot of people just think that they're the only person going through a situation, and out of like looking good they don't want to share or speak about things because they're worried about how they're going to be judged, or they feel as though they're the only person going through it. So it's but like anytime I think anybody's going through something, I always try to reach out to them and have a conversation and like just be there and be supportive and stuff. So, I
mean, in terms of mental health, it's a subject, like you said, that people don't really want to speak about because some can feel like they're embarrassed by it, and they shy away from it. And I for some reason I always believe that, I feel like we all have mental health issues, and I feel like it takes that one significant event to kind of like trigger it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you can go from acting like, I know people that are just normal, you know, people like go about their day-to-day lives, and there could be like maybe a death in a family or an illness or anything, and it just triggers it, and all of a sudden they become a completely different person. Their mental capacity and their state is completely different. So
yeah, it's the mind at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's the mind.
The mind's very powerful.
And you've got to think, all you have realistically in this life that you live is yourself and your being, but that conversation, that talking to yourself in your head, like, that's all you have. Like, if you see something, I'm looking out the window now and I'll have a conversation with myself, it's snowing, like whatever. And I think even that thing, like the voice in your head, like, no one really speaks about the voice in your head. Like, we all have this voice in our head, and then I don't know, like, a lot of people that are on the extreme of going through, like, are going through mental health and having issues and stuff. It's all to do really with the voice in your head and what's going on, like, with the
I
mind.
think it's as well like the control.
Yeah.
So I work in mental health, and obviously a lot of my patients are hearing voices, they're seeing things that are not really there. And I think, like you said, it's like about the voice in your head. I think having a conversation and like to say to somebody else, it's okay to have that voice in your head. Like, everyone has it. But it's how we contain it.
Right.
So I think that's really important. You said about like medication. In my experience, so I've got like quite a lot of mental health in my family. Like, my cousin's been in and out for psychiatric services. He's got schizophrenia, which was drug induced. And me as a person, although I'm a nurse, I really don't like medication.
Yeah, same.
And I think it should start with a conversation, getting to know the person. I just feel like there's a lot more we could do instead of just being like, take a pill and calm down.
Yeah.
Does it work though? I mean, like, as you say, like, you have patients, like medication, like, because I work with people who suffer like from mental health, and sometimes they say, well, medication really is not the answer, because at the end of the day, all it does is make them drowsy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just slow, as you said, slows everything down.
I think it depends on the person. I mean, like, at the moment, like clozapine, that's the medication people are on when it's like last resort medication, because of all their side effects. And obviously it starts with like weekly blood tests, and then it depends like what levels they are and stuff, like plasma levels and so on. So I think normally when people are on clozapine, they've reached a point where they need to be on medication, because nothing else is going to work. And for them to have like to be rehabilitated into society, I think that is a good medication to be on, so they can maybe go back to work and like be around family and so on. But I think other people, it all just depends on the person. I don't think you can say there's a fix for everyone, because everyone's different.
Yeah, you're right.
So some people, you know, they'll do well to go back into the community, have the conversation, you know, be taken out for lunch and so on. But another person, they would need medication to stabilize themselves down. And I think that also, like, if you know, people who are suffering with aggression as well, sometimes the medication could be used to calm them down so they don't exhibit those sort of kind of outbursts. And then that could be really important, because obviously if you take someone out on the street and when they have an outburst, you need to know, like, is it going to protect them or the people around them? So I think it just depends, but I think we need to cut the stigma that everyone who's got mental health are a danger to society,
And
because they're not.
Even, I'm just gonna say, with anger and stuff, whatever happens, like, you could punch me in the face now.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm mentally ill.
No. That's what I was saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
But
sorry.
if you punch me in my face, the fact that you punch me in my face isn't the thing that gets me angry. The thing that's going to get me angry is the conversation I have with myself about you punching me in my face.
That's true, yeah.
So,
like,
yeah,
I'm gonna. That's what anger is, you know.
Yeah,
It's about the
yeah,
conversation
you have with yourself.
like, you have with yourself.
Yeah.
Anything happens, you're like, oh no, am I a dickhead? Like,
It's true.
it's inside that. It's a conversation you have with yourself, and that's the thing, is like, a lot of people put it on what's going on, or this is the reason as to why and whatever. And then I think another thing with medication, like, they don't look at deficiencies with your, like, what are you eating, what is, because food is a lot, like, food is a lot. Like, if you're not eating the correct food, like, that can have an effect on your mental health. Like, there's deficiencies and stuff, so like,
I never looked at it like that, you know, like the food that we eat kind of has an effect.
It is.
Because a lot of them as well, they drink loads of caffeine, they're eating like fat, like McDonald's, KFC, like they're eating a lot of like stodgy foods that are not really good for them. And even like that's not man-made food.
Yeah,
Like, and I think it also depends on what hospital you are in. like NHS, they don't really offer you supplies of fruit every day or like water. It's, you know, it's dependent. So I'm in a private hospital, so we do have quite a good kind of meal plan, but even still, it's still very meat based.
What about the people that have been like drug induced, that are using drugs? Do you think there's a comeback from that?
In what way?
Like their mental capacity in terms of, can it be cured? Because a lot of people, once they feel like once you take drugs or once you've kind of had a mental breakdown, or have a mental disorder, should I say, they feel like it's incurable. It's an incurable thing.
No, I think it can be reversed, but obviously there's always going to be something that's like a bit different in your personality. Like in terms of, for example, like I've had a situation where I went to Amsterdam. You know, I'm on live.
Yeah.
I may have eaten a cake and I may have had an episode. And I think since then I'm not the same person. Like sometimes I do get anxious. Not that I wouldn't say I'm paranoid, but there's sometimes like if I'm like maybe social anxiety, so if I'm like in a big group of people and everyone's like laughing and talking, there could be a point where I'm like, oh, like, is it about me? Yeah. So I think if we're honest and true, like self-reflection, I think you're never the same once you have taken a substance. But I think it depends on the people you have around you and your support network. I think support is really key. Like a lot of people with mental health, they haven't got like the family to be around them and tell them that it's okay, like we're there, we support you. Often they're the outcast. Yeah. And I think that's what we need, that we need to bring it back and actually talk about it. Because like we all need, you know, we all need a hug. Yeah. We all need to feel wanted at some point in our life, not even just sexually, but just in terms of a friendship. So I think like how you can help with friends is just like even picking up the phone and just being like, are you cool? Or even if someone hasn't posted for a long time on Instagram, like, oh, that's unusual. Like, are you cool? Like, are you going through something?
So this is like, it's a good thing. Social
I don't need to go into like races or anything, guys. I'm just saying, but I feel like in the black community as well, a lot of us suffer with kind of mental, like have a mental breakdown or have certain things that we deal with compared to somebody else from a different background. Does that make sense? Because there's a lot of pressure on us to have a certain persona, or do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, most definitely. I feel like I say, I know people that have gone through it, especially with depression, and as a friend, I probably haven't been as supportive as I could be until I kind of went through it for myself. And it's a thing of like, obviously when you see like a friend's depressed, you just think nothing of it. You think, come on, like get over this, like come on, let's go out, let's go do something. Like, how can you be depressed? And until I went through it, and it hit a stage where I just completely isolated myself from like friends, family. I just didn't want to be around anyone, and it's a battle, and it's a thing of where you have to, it's mind over matter. Do you know what I mean? So it's a thing where you have to kind of like get yourself out of that state. I know sometimes they say, oh, you can have like counselling and medication, but
you have to be in the right zone as well. So
exactly, true.
Counselling, you can't be like someone, you need to go counselling. If you're not in the right frame of mind and you don't feel like you need help or want help, then you won't do it. There's no point going to counselling because it's not going to help you.
So I think their advice, like the stuff that they say, and it's not always the best advice or what you as an individual need. Like sometimes you'll go with someone who can't relate to you or your situation at all, and that's another thing, like with depression and people going through stuff. Like a lot of people, they just judge someone who's going through something. It's like, oh, what do you mean you're depressed? Like, you've got a good job, you've got this, you've got that, and whatever. But there's like millionaires, like
there's a lot.
People go through stuff, like people go through things, innit? So yeah.
What you're gonna say? Sorry about Instagram. You said it was.
So no, just social media. Like Instagram, like it's a great tool for, you know, like social media, networking, keeping in touch with people and whatever. But it breaks down communication. Firstly, like there's so many people who don't reach out to people now because it's like, oh no, they're cool. I can see their stuff and whatever on social media. And a lot of people, they don't understand that, you know, Instagram is the highlight reel of people's life. Like, it's not the real deal. And if you're going through depression or you're in a bad, just not feeling great. Like, I woke up this morning, I'm not feeling too great, and then I go on social media. If I scroll through, everybody's living life. Everyone's living life.
Start comparing yourself.
Everyone's living life. And then you're like, oh right, am I the only person who's feeling shit today? Like, everybody's up to stuff and whatever. And then there's also just like comparing. Like, I know so many people that are in relationships and they're having that stupid arguments over social media. So and so, they're always going out to eat, they're going on holiday, blah blah, and you don't know what's behind the picture. You know,
you don't.
These times they're all cheating on each other and doing a madness and having mad arguments and whatever, but it all looks good on social media, and it's just a pressure. And even like, as being, I'm mixed race, but I guess to the world to a certain extent I'm considered as black. Like, if I get stopped by police, I'm considered as black. And even in the workplace, and this is another thing with mental health, is that a lot of us, I'm not saying all of us, we have to pretend when we go to work, you know, like we have to pretend and be a different person and being professional and whatever. Like, I'm a product of my environment. I grew up where I grew up. My friends are my friends in it, but I can't like be the real me. When I go to work, I can't be the real me.
I
can't be. It's like I have to. Great. I can't even share my weekend. Every weekend they're like to me, oh, what are you getting up to at the weekend? I'm just like, I ain't really got plans. I ain't got nothing sorted out. You get me? Ain't got nothing sorted out. And then it's just like hearing at my workplace, I guess, like just hearing how they speak about, you know, Stormzy and Skepta at the Brits and blah blah blah. And like I'm chilling with people that are well, I've got a hoodie on myself, and it's just like the judging, like the stereotype and not understanding people. And it's like, just because you may speak a certain way, you may speak slang or whatever, like you're just judged. So it's that is another thing that's difficult, is you're having to switch and just not be like, just not to be.
I think as well, like highlighting, going back to social media and comparing yourself. I think I've never really thought about it from a male's point of view. I think I'm always stuck on a woman's point of view and thinking about body image, and like you're looking and you're like, oh, this girl's got the clearest skin, or this girl's got this, and you're looking at yourself and like, but that's not me. And like personal experience, like literally 2 months ago, if I'm honest, I didn't want to be here anymore. Like, I stopped going to work. I developed acne, and every time I was looking in the mirror, I hated what I was seeing, and I didn't want to look in the mirror anymore. I was only looking in the mirror to plaster on makeup so that I could go outside. Otherwise, I wouldn't go outside. And then, so now I'm going to counselling just because I didn't want to live anymore. But then looking on my Instagram, someone else could be like, oh my god, like I want Jay's life. She's always going on holiday. She's always doing this. I'm going on holiday because I don't want to be here. It's not because, like, do you know what I mean? It's just, I think people see something and they judge it on another.
Does the counselling help when you're going?
I think now it does, because I'm at a time in my place, like I'm in a time of my life where I can deal with things, and I think I've got the mental capacity to deal with things from my past. And I think everything that is coming out in my skin stems from stuff I haven't dealt with before. If that makes sense. I feel like this is like an external thing. Everything's just coming out.
They say that when you've got like a mental disorder, whatever you're like, say you're stressed or you're angry or whatever, it creates blocks in your body. So like energy blocks, I can't explain it, and that's how people get cancer, like cardiovascular disease, all these diseases. So when you have like a mental disorder, you're more prone to diseases because you're not learning how to cope and deal with these things, or your energy or whatever. So
your body kind of goes into that panic mode. But you know what I'll say is helping me is acupuncture. Yeah, that's really helping me, like, because it goes to like the energy levels.
Releasing
like what you were
tension,
saying, like, releasing the energy, like, and the negativity. And since I've been having it, literally, like, I'm feeling a lot better in myself. Like, I'm not looking around thinking, oh my god, I'm ugly, I don't want to live anymore. Like, I'm seeing past it, and I'm seeing that I'm a person beyond what I look like.
And you know, touching back on what you said, obviously, like you not wanting to be here anymore, I always, like, when I think of stuff like that, I always think, oh, like, what kind of state, like, is a person to be in for them to not to feel like that, not want to be here. Because I, like, sometimes I used to say, oh, like, people who commit like suicide or stuff like that, like, they're selfish, because it's like you're leaving, like, you don't know the impact
that you're having on
other people, innit? But then hindsight, I don't know what that person's feeling for them to actually want to just like end life. It's crazy how the mind is and what it makes you do. But like I said, how with counselling, as you're going to, how long do you tend to like do that and keep that up for?
So it's like an hour every week.
Okay.
And then like literally like she doesn't really say much.
Yeah.
She just listens because I don't think they're really allowed to prompt you. Because obviously like you don't want to put like they don't want to put words in your mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like an open space where you can just talk to someone you don't know and literally just let everything out.
Yeah.
And I honestly think like everyone should go, even if you don't think you need it. I feel like you should still go because like the release is just I can't even explain it.
I think one thing as well is learning how to cope with stress and depression. So like for me, for example, like my relationship was kind of, my past relationships were, well, one of them was quite abusive, let's just say, and it put a lot of stress, it put me in a depressed state, let's just put it like that. And for me, fitness kind of helped me. It was like my hero. It saved me to get through what I was going through. So it's the littlest things that you can do, like surrounding yourself with positive people, trying out a new hobby. I don't know, just there's so many things that you can do to kind of get through it. But like you were saying, the counselling is good, but it doesn't always work for everyone. So you're also trying to find out what works best for you. So like how have you guys dealt with, obviously
I think coping mechanisms as well, like literally I've printed off pictures.
That's good
of when
though,
my skin was clear, and I've like put it on my door, and it's like my vision board. So every morning I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, my skin's gonna get back to that. So I think like things like that, also like you said, talking to people, but surround yourself with positive people. Like people who generally care for you. There's a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm your girl.
Even your family members.
Yeah,
like if they're negative, you know what to do.
Cut them off.
Yeah.
Like,
Just reading out a comment. Amina_Chads. I think routine is important. It allows you to feel like your ducks are in order.
that
Your
was
ducks
cute.
are in order.
But then routine can get a bit repetitive at the same time, and it puts you in that state of mind that you're doing the same thing over and over again. But it is
true,
good.
But I think it is, in terms of my patients, I think it's good.
Yeah.
The routine, it's like they've got something to get out of bed for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you wake up and you've got nothing to do, then you're gonna just want to stay in bed and be a bit depressed. But if like you know, like, oh, today I'm gonna go have lunch with the girls, or I'm gonna go catch a film with my mum, like it's giving you a purpose.
Yeah. That's true.
But I'm just gonna say, sometimes you need to just delete social media.
100%.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need to just delete social
Have a
media.
detox.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, if you're going through something, like if you're not in the greatest of places,
It ain't gonna
obviously
help.
you're speaking and saying about your skin. So it's like you'll go on social media now and then looking at everybody, but it's a highlight reel. Like the amount of people that I've seen on social media and I've seen them in real life, and I'm like you know, there's nothing like your social media. Like,
true.
all of the filters and everything that goes on. But obviously, because you don't meet up with these people, you don't see these people or the stuff that they're going
Just
through.
thinking like that.
Yeah, like even people with like thousands of followers, millions of followers and whatever, like they're all depressed and going through stuff as well, like they go through all that life stuff. And I think the issue is that we don't share and have these conversations. And a lot of them, because it's all about like looking good and you know, life is great and whatever, like a lot of people don't have conversations that people can really relate to going through like real life stuff. Like life isn't easy. Like life isn't easy.
No,
Like
not.
even you have good times and stuff and whatever, but like we're not like animals. We don't just wake up and like all we have to worry about is what am I going to eat today, and I just need to make sure I survive. Like, a squirrel, a squirrel is worried about the cat that lives that's in the garden, and he's just got to get food, and then he's nice for me. That's it. Like, but as human beings, like there's so much stuff that you have to concern yourself with, and so much like self-judgment, and then so much like just the judgment of others, and I think like a big thing as well is just like trying to find, I know it's not the easiest, but trying to find, you know, joy and self-love as well, like just being like loving yourself.
That's
and being
you know,
in
it's
that
so
place.
hard, you know, because to like that self-love is so important. It is so important, because I struggle with that myself. I'm like my worst, I always say I'm like my worst enemy, because I doubt myself so much. I could think of a brilliant idea and then talk myself out of it, all because of, you know, that I don't have that, I don't know, maybe not that self-love to actually go on and do what I want to do. So that is a part of like mental health, because I know I have a friend, I won't disclose his name or anything, but he was great guy, got a lot going for himself, and for some reason he feels that anything he's doing is never good enough. And I used to think, well, you've got a great job, like you just bought a house, like you're doing well, you know, from what I would say, doing well, you're making us proud. What's there not to be happy about? Like, he's beating himself up left, right and centre, because
was he comparing himself?
Exactly, comparing himself to other people, or this person's done this. And I always say everyone has their time.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, stay in your lane.
Do you think it's different for like the way depression is, or mental health? Do you think it's mental health? Do you think it's different for males and females, like how we go through it, or kind of? Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I was going to say, I think women are more likely to disclose it.
Yeah.
I think men, it's harder, I think, for them to talk about stuff, especially if they've gone through like sexual abuse.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
And that's another thing as well, is that we judge the end product of a person. Like if somebody is, you know, is mentally ill or going through a situation, like you don't know their childhood, like what they've gone through. Like a lot of people have gone through sexual abuse, you know, a lot of people have been in poverty situations and like just things that it's not good for the mind, like and things that you've gone through, and some people are able to turn that negative to positive, but others, you know, it sticks with them, it kind of haunts them. And I think you need to deal with things that you've gone through in your past as well. Like, I think that's another thing that's very important, like not just to try and like forget about it and close it away. Like you
bring it in, bring it into relationships, you bring it into the workplace. And I think as well, like going back to self-love, I think as well, if you haven't got that self-love, then you'll keep going into relationships that are not healthy.
That is
because you don't feel like you're worth anything better than that.
Especially if you're with someone who is talking down on you, you don't feel great about yourself, and then you've got someone there telling you you're nothing without me, or blah blah blah. It just all builds up. It builds up, and
it's like what people accept and you know go through. Like I don't know, like a lot of people go through some real horrible stuff in their childhood, and again, it's sharing. Like people don't have these conversations, and this is the thing that haunts people, is that, you know, they feel as though they're the only person who's gone through and going through this stuff. Like if there's open forums and people speak about like what really happens and goes on, then, you know, people feel a bit more comfortable with this stuff, and they don't feel so alienated.
I feel as black people got too much pride. I mean, to sit there and say, oh, you know what, I'm going through, I've got mental health issues, I'm going through that. Not a lot of people come forward and talk. I can imagine if I sat down with my boys or whatnot and said, yo, like fellas, like, is there anyone that wants to talk about, get off their chest? Everyone will probably say, oh no, I'm good. I'm good, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one really wants to offload because they feel embarrassed or they feel scared.
I think as well, like offering a safe space. Yeah. Because a lot of people won't disclose because they think, well, who are you going to tell? How are they going to judge me? Like, especially with females who I've spoken to as well. Like if they've gone through like sexual abuse, to them they're thinking, well, I'm not going to have to get a boyfriend because they might judge me. Like this person's done this to me. So I think maybe that's what it is.
That's the thing as well. Like if you really break it down, like I know, obviously sexual abuse in a situation it's a really bad thing that's happened, but like if you really check it, for whatever the duration of time it was that it happened, it only happened for that set amount of time, but it kind of haunts a person for the rest of their life. Like unless they take it on and deal with it. And I think resentment hold it proper affects you, like
resentment towards who?
Just in general, like if you've fallen out with I don't know, your brother, your sister, your friend, and blah 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 and whatever, like if you don't forgive people and just get that out of your system, like you have all this stuff built up inside of you, and it's mad.
It's true.
It's crazy.
Do you have any more questions?
Let's see if there's any comments scrolling up. Right.
We're quick to this is from Clark_London. We're quick to cut people off when they're acting different without trying to find out the reason for it. That's true.
That's my brother. Shout out Clark London.
Okay. Family thing. Yeah.
No, that is true, actually.
And then Just Enzo24 says mental health is hard to express to loved ones because in my head I don't think no one would understand my reasons why, because I suffer with sickle cell disease. That's understandable.
Yeah.
If you, especially if you can't relate to it, it's probably hard to
But I feel like if you don't understand, you're kind of a selfish person in a sense. Do you get what I mean? Like,
probably we're not educated enough.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people just brush things under, like just brush it under the carpet. Like it's not a big deal. Like just crack on. Basically, like someone is genuinely coming to someone with an issue and trying to communicate it to them, and they're just, oh no, it's fine. Like you'll be all right. You know, give it a week or so, and then you'll be over it, and not, you know, being there for a person. So.
But I think as well, it's not funny. He said that, but about the sickle cell. Because I've noticed that normally, like, if there's a physical health problem, we're actually more likely to address it. We're more likely to talk about it, and we're more likely to feel empathy towards that person. When it comes to mental health, it's like we don't get. It's not the same recognition as if you was like, oh, I've got cancer.
It's true.
It's almost like, oh, it's your fault you're mentally ill. Like you shouldn't have taken that drug, or you shouldn't have got drunk. Like mental illness is if not, it's like worse than a physical health.
But the thing is,
because at least like with physical health, there's quite normally a way to make it better. Like if you break your leg, it's gonna heal. If something in your mind has gone wrong, it's not gonna just heal overnight. It's gonna take a lot of work to get back to the person you were before. So I think that as a society, and especially in the black community, we need more compassion and empathy towards our loved ones and the people around us.
I agree. And on that note, we are reaching our destination. We're here to buy a bobsled so we can go play about in the snow. So I want to say for those who have tuned in, thank you for joining us, and thank you to our guests. So if you'd like to give your socials once more so people know where to find you at.
So thanks guys for tuning in. I'm Chantelia again. Instagram is SS Fitness.
I don't know what my name is.
Sweet.
So my name officially is Leon Lewis, and my social media is Sweets Lewis, spelled the normal way, Lucian without the ham. And yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you've learned something from it. My social media is @PreciousVegan_.
And your boy Joey Cool, you know where to find me, either on the Long Drive homepage or at Joey Cool 1 on Insta. Shout out to my boy Ron Snow, I miss you, come back home soon. And I just want to say guys, I live by this, there was a quote that Robin Williams said, and before he died he said it in a speech, and it's a thing where I thought everyone should live by it, and it's what's the saying again? The saying is I've lost the saying. The saying is no, don't Google it, I've got this. The saying is, be kind to everyone, because obviously you don't know what they're going through. So that is my mission statement for you guys, just to be kind to everyone, because you don't know what battles or demons that they're facing. So yeah, talk up mental health. If you're going through it, don't think you're alone. With a Long Drive home, we're out.